What's up, YouTube? Today I want to talk to you guys about stunted discus and how to avoid it. Let's get to the video.
1, 2, 3.
Alright guys, the first thing I will tell you guys is when you're buying your discus, don't buy your discus at 2" or 2.5". The best size to get your discus is at 3" and up. The reason is if you buy your discus at that size, that small size, there's a good chance you're gonna have some stunted. One, especially if you buy your discus in a package where you get like 10 or so, you're gonna have a couple discus stunted out of that bunch because they're so small. So the best size I would go with is probably 3 and up. So that size, I think they're past that stunted stage. If you feed them and do your water change, you should be good. So try not to go at that small size if you can. Okay. The next thing I will tell you guys is when you buy these discus, some of them gonna grow faster than some, and try and take the bigger ones out the tank, the ones that's growing faster, and put them in a tank by themselves. The reason is if you got a real bigger discus in your tank, they're gonna try to stop the smaller ones from eating the way they should be eating. They're gonna be more aggressive towards those smaller fish. So try to keep them to themselves and keep them to themselves so the smaller ones could grow the way they should be growing. You don't want to have a bigger discus be more dominant toward the smaller discus, so the smaller one become stressed and they become stunted because they're not eating the way they're supposed to be eating. They're standing in the back on the net eating the food the way they should be eating. So try to take the bigger ones out and keep the smaller ones by themselves, because like I said, some of them want to grow faster than some. And as you can see on this video right here, this big discus right here that I'm showing you was in the same package as the smaller discus, but you can see he got so big that I had to put him by itself. At first I have all these discus in the same tank, but I see these discus right here, especially this one, because it was in the same package as the smaller ones. He was being so aggressive towards the smaller ones, so that's why I take these smaller ones out of this big tank and put them in the smaller tank by themselves. And as these grow, if one start getting a little bit bigger, I'll take him out and put in this bigger 150. So yeah, guys. And the last thing I want to talk about to you guys is food. Food for your discus. And this smaller tank, I feed these guys 3 times a day, probably more, but I try to do 3 times a day. If you don't wanna make your discus become stunted, you have to feed a lot. You have to feed these smaller fish a lot. The big ones, I feed them sometime 2, sometime 1 time, sometime 1 time a day. But the small tank, and that's another reason why you have to do your water change, because you're feeding so much. You have to do your water change. So a lot of food, 3 times a day for these smaller guys. If you don't wanna make your discus become stunted, you have to feed a lot, especially to these smaller 3-inch fish right there. So yeah, guys, it's pretty simple. It's not really simple, but it's a lot of work, but you have to do it if you don't want to make your discus stunted. Alright guys, that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, like and comment, and you guys have a good one. Bye.